Okay, Assalamu alaikum. We have this case where we're trying to identify teeth before we're going to treat them with bridge work. This case came for the student and still it's in its initial form. There are still some extractions and perio and many things to do. But the discussion point was, is this, the last tooth, is it a 7 or an 8? So you said?
7.
7, you said?
8.
8. Okay, what made you say 8?
Based on the
Or the
anatomy
wisdom
of
tooth.
the tooth.
Anatomy?
If it's
It looks like a 7 as well. The
يعني,
plus shape. The fifth cusp is not there.
Yes.
Fine enough. This could be a 7, by the way. يعني
It could be.
It could be. I'm talking about actually what is it. What is it? 7. Okay. What do you see? You see some roots, صح?
Yeah.
But don't you see in front of the roots there is some space?
Yeah,
And the 5
yes.
is tilted distally. When does this happen?
When there is a missed tooth that tries to
There is a mistake.
move to
Where we had a lot of tilting to compensate the space. When does this happen? Usually this happens when the extraction was very early in the age of the patient.
yeah.
So this was the 6 that was extracted. So we had the tooth extracted. Then the 7 shifted mesially, and this is what you see as roots now. The 7 is not there at the moment. The second molar is only roots. But you can see the area of bone deficiency, and you can see the 5 tilted distally, even rotated as well. Okay, that was a very early extraction of the 6. So what you see as roots is the 7, and what you see as the final tooth is the wisdom tooth. Okay, so this is identification of teeth. Usually students get confused when we have early extractions and mesial drips. This is where they get confused. But as an occlusal morphology alone, looking at the occlusal morphology alone, this could be an 7 or an 8, because we don't have the fifth cusp, and the cross is very apparent. Okay, we don't have a reduction a lot in the distal. You don't know that teeth grow smaller distally. صح? Mesial is larger than the distal.
Yes.
So all of this does not confirm with an actual, or let's say what we know about the 8. This could be a 7 from occlusal morphology alone. But looking at the mesial drift of the roots with the distal drift of the 5, that means there was a molar there, and this is now
A
the
7
8.
easily shifted.
Yes, the 7 mesially shifted, and the wisdom tooth now is what we have. Okay, can you prepare this as a bridge? You can. What are the precautions? This is a mesially tilted tooth. What are precautions?
Yes. الpulpal damage.
Might be. Okay, I'll explain that in a video in a moment. I just wanted to show you the clinical drifts of the teeth, what happens for the occlusal table as a collapse when we have early loss of teeth. We have, it's not a collapse, it's actually just a compensation. But still, when the teeth drift, they don't drift into their optimal morphology,
yes.
Because look at the 5, it's tilted and rotated as well. The 7 is or the 7 which is now removed. But actually, what would if the crown was there, we will have a lot of space beneath the mesial part of it. It will accumulate a lot of plaque. And now look at the 8 as well; it's shifted. Okay, so it's not collapse meaning that we have lost the occlusal stops, but it's collapse in terms of the optimal tooth position in the arch to prevent plaque accumulation and so on. Okay, so you take that in account when you're preparing the 5, that you're going to reproduce the morphology of it now, because this is what it's adapted to now. Don't put it back as a mesial totally in contact with the 4. We have spacing, natural spacing here, okay? But approved for fixed, yes, I approve it. It will be a bit difficult for the access distally, okay?